Alton Towers was very popular. It was famous for its white-knuckle roller coasters, and visitors came from all over to ride them. Among the visitors was a devoted band of coaster enthusiasts, for whom looping the loop was a way of life.
Who's on their third loop-a-thon? Who's on their second loop-a-thon? Who's a virgin? And who's on their first loop-a-thon? As some of you are on your first loop-a-thon, those regular people, everyone who's been on trips before, is going to look to you and is going to give you the coaster handshake. Let's have some coaster handshakes going on. I want everyone to have shaken hands with two people. Everyone. And who's clever enough to do a racing coaster handshake? And what about a Nemesis coaster handshake? Oh, don't you look silly.
A roller coaster enthusiast is someone who likes going to a park most weekends and will not be content with queuing for a ride and going on once. They'll want to go on it again and again and again. And once they've done that, they'll want to go on the rest of the roller coasters in the park again and again and again. And when they've done that, they'll want to go to another park and do it. And so a roller coaster enthusiast is someone who can keep on riding roller coasters, different types, in different countries. They'll spend a lot of money travelling around the world just to ride roller coasters.
The Roller Coaster Club were such regulars at Alton Towers that one day a year they were allowed to take over a big ride and have it to themselves.
New riders, are you ready? Yeah! Well, we're not going to send the train until we hear some more noise. 3, 2, 1. In a club of 1,500 people, you're going to get a few what you might call anoraks. People do like to know what holds the rides together. They want to know how many bolts are in there, how many gallons of paint that are covering it. But at the end of the day, of course, the fun in roller coaster riding is riding it. Your Monday to Friday job is pretty mundane. Come the weekends, you can get on that roller coaster and let that machine control your destiny. For 2 minutes of your life, you're not in control. One ride is never enough. You've got to try the front seat, the back seats, the side seats. The front seat gives you more downforce, you feel heavier in the front seat. The back seat gives you more air time, so you feel lighter. And the left side and the right side are different. And of course, different times of the day as well vary the ride.
Meanwhile, the new roller coaster was still make-believe. An enormous hole in the ground.
What you see here is a great big piece of civil engineering, which isn't kind of very exciting. What we have to do is to turn that into magic. Whoa. We are entertainers. The fact that we use concrete and steel to do our entertaining, as opposed to a piece of Shakespearean text or whatever, is immaterial. Next year, this is going to look like a sinister, forbidden place, and no one can really work out what it's all about. You know, there's always a place sort of a few miles away that's got a barbed wire fence around it and a minefield, and you know people that work there and they never tell you what they do, and it's all a bit sinister and a bit secret. Well, that's one of these places, and there's something going on underground, and no one knows quite what, or no one will admit that really anything goes on underground. And when you come here, you unwittingly find yourself part of an experiment, and you're taken underground into Oblivion. And we're having a great time working all this up at the moment.
Access denied until launch date 0398.
Don't climb over the fence.
I Well, all you can say with any clarity is that it's designed by Bollinger and Mabiard. You can tell just by the shape of the track section. It's going to be impressive. It's a big hole.
High security area.
People are really curious because there's not quite enough happening yet to give the game away. So there's a big hole and there's a big mound and there's some bits of metal work over there. Some of it's obviously structure. Looking at it, some of it's recognisable as to who the supplier is, who the manufacturer is. But there's not enough there to ascertain what's actually going to happen. I mean, there's one straight bit of, if that's track, one straight bit of track and a couple of supports. So it's a nice tease to see a bit of it, but you still can't work out what it actually is going to be. No. Just have to keep watching this space, I suppose. Keep coming up to this fence.
Yeah.
Each player starts a race. It's a racing game. Race your dragon all the way to the top of the screen. It's the first one to reach the top that rings the bells and lights those lights will take a teddy bear home tonight. So come on, everybody, now let's have some fun. It only costs £1 to put water in your gun. You fire at the targets, watch your dragons run. First one to the top, it's a Humphrey Bear you've won.
I've heard that the new ride costs £15 million. How much do these games cost?
Yeah, I don't know what the cost was, but it's not £15 million. It's a long way off of that. It's definitely a long way off of it. There's, mind you, I think these are still, I think they still are popular. So we take over £1,000 on a good day. Yeah, I think there's still a place for the old-fashioned games, yeah. There's still a good place for them. I wouldn't like to work the rides. To me, it's boring. Just putting people on games, on the cars and taking them off. That's boring. That's not my idea of a job. I prefer to be on these sort of games. Yeah. Should be another one there. No, that's it. One out.
In the magical world of Oblivion, image was everything. An ad agency from Manchester had the job of selling it as the coolest ride in the land.
What would the new ride be like?
Something a bit like this. You're standing literally teetering on the brink of Oblivion, staying face downwards, and you're swaying back and two, and you don't know whether you're going to fall at any moment.
And your stomach's churning, and your eyes are popping
churning.
out, and the beads of sweat are dribbling off your forehead. In actual fact, this is something we got the client to do when we presented these ideas to.
And then, face forward.
That's what it's going to be like?
Yeah, exactly like that.
Except it's going to be into a big, bloody dark hole.
And a bit higher, and not, and not a cushiony carpet.
Yeah. We didn't want to go and use all the usual imagery of roller coasters, so we decided to look around at all the other sort of funky, zany stuff and to try and come up with something new and unique for this ride.
This commercial opens on the inky blackness of the interior of a Hercules plane. We see a man strapped to the inside of the loading ramp. He begins to slide towards the edge. As he continues to slide, his feet just manage to hook onto the metal ribbing of the ramp. We cut to the following words on screen. What's it like to fall into Oblivion? As if in answer to this question, we see a ride car from various angles. Suddenly, the ride car hurtles towards us at incredible speed until the logo on the front of the ride car fills the frame. The camera focuses on the word Oblivion in the center of the logo. As this sequence occurs, a voiceover delivers the words world first, face first, sheer drop.
The ad agents had come up with some cool ideas, but first they had to be tested on a focus group.
We felt that one route would be to take a metaphor for the fall itself. So rather than showing the fall, it's the fear of the fall that makes it most frightening.
So why didn't it work? Why aren't you very enthusiastic about it?
I think that planning mode's a bit of old nonsense, I'm afraid. I mean, I can see the point, you know, what is it like to stand to Oblivion, but being dropped out the back of a Hercules plane is not the same as going on a roller coaster. You know, by definition, he's going to die, and I don't think I am. As I I said before, you know, you're trying to recreate the feeling,
Yes.
even in death. You know,
Yeah.
this is it. I've had it. You know, I can't. You know, this is too extreme.
Yes.
And those pictures look, I think it's so fascinating because it just looks impossible.
Yeah.
People like to be told the truth about things. They're fed up with all the sort of bullshit.
Disappointment when you get there. It's not what it is.
Yeah, that's very true.
You know, they don't like the metaphors. They don't like anything that's slightly removed from it. But I always see that in group research. It's a bit like everyone always says, just tell me the product, just show me the product demonstration. But at the start, what advertising did they like? Nike, Levi's, stuff that's completely wrapped in imagery. Now, I'll bet if you'd have showed them the storyboards for those Nike and Levi's adverts, they'd have said, just spend a bit more time showing me the jeans. Just spend a bit more time showing me how good the trainers are, or the footy boots, or whatever it may be.
I think, well, I don't know who said it. One of the comments was, in fact, it was said a couple of times, or just get rid of the front bit and use the end bit.
You could, if you very literally interpret it, you could just end up with a load of ride shots, which they'll then understand the ride, but they won't necessarily get any depth of imagery. So I do think you've got to interpret the process to an extent.
The marketing people interpreted and interpreted, and then accepted the focus group's advice. The commercial would have no aeroplanes or metaphors, just ride shots, lots of ride shots, all mocked up in a studio because the real ride still didn't exist.
Don't move, Peter. Here we go. Roll camera. Hey, everybody still and action. Still. Keep rolling. Good.
Overall, the overall project is more mainstream than I think myself and Tony originally had planned. But that's okay, there's still plenty of good creative opportunities.
Action. No?
Good. Good. So what's happened to your idea about the Hercules plane?
It bombed. Just cut that.
It was the last day of the season. After 8 magical months, Alton Towers was about to close for the winter.
Sorry about the wait. Thank you.
End of season.
Thank goodness. Nearly had something else. There's a one in there. Oh, unlucky. You just got the one. Would you like one-wing pig or a one-wing cow? Mistake the rope. How do you get this up now?
It's so cold, okay? This is cold. You just... Won't be a second, we'll just get you another, okay? Right, you're waiting for a hot dog without onions, yeah.
What now for you?
Got a job to start on tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Textile factory, 8 to 4:30. 5 days a week, which is more than enough for me. It's what I want, you know.
Are you going to come back to work at Alton Towers next year?
Hopefully not. Maybe. I don't know. I can't say at the moment. I mean, I'll hopefully start my teaching course next September, so it all depends.
On what?
Well, I don't know. There are good times, but days like this, it's hellish, really, to be honest, when you're getting people complaining and you just don't know what to do for the best, really. You just end up making a bit of a fool of yourself.
I've had lots of jobs in my lifetime, and it's the best job I've ever had. I really enjoy doing it.
It's a bit like Disneyland, this place.
I suppose it is, yeah. In England. I suppose I've always wanted to be a red coat at Butlin, so it's the next best thing, red coat at Alton Towers.
Will you miss the place?
I can't say that I won't, to be honest.
If you had asked me that at this time last season, I would have said yes. But no, I'm afraid I won't. Not now. As a matter of fact, I should be glad when it's the evening and I'm finished. I'll go out of the gate saying, "You." I'm glad that's over. That's an aspect of my life done and gone with now.
The season was going to end with a bang. Alton Towers was hosting an enormous fireworks display. Afterwards, the staff would be sent home and wouldn't be needed again until the new season, in 4 months' time.
It's sad, Dawn.
Yeah, it is. Switching it off for the last time. I've done it how many times all season, I can't remember. It's worse when you have to lock the door at the end, sort of stand there and look at it for a bit. I think everyone gets a bit upset at the end of the season. All the atmosphere that was here, you know, is gone now. This is just a little short story I wrote today, taking the piss really out of my job and the boring nature of it. The greedy customers screaming for cheap goods, never satisfied, never pleasant, never fulfilled. Waitresses and waiters performing the same mind-numbing task day in, day out. The pain of an itching boater on the head for 12 hours. Oh, what torment. People mocking the primary coloured uniform. Shirt collars so tight and painful that the neck turns red and the purple veins become very prominent. Rush hour and the people shovel mouthfuls of crap into their mouths. Their actions almost mechanical, like JCB fast tracks. Step, step, quick, quick step. How clinical this existence has become. The chaffing of 70 down your tights against rough legs, tired and achy from a 36-hour shift with only 2 hours sleep. Knees scraping, legs shaking. Help me. The day draws to an end. We are left with the short straw, using a hoover to pick up 12-hour-old chips, the hoover swallowing with a greedy appetite. And that's it, I'm afraid. We got busy towards the end.
Is your feelings?
That's my feelings about today, yeah. Sums it up, really.
Anybody who worked in the leisure business, it was always felt to be a bit of a Cinderella business. These days, the way the country is moving, service industries, tourism, leisure is becoming much more important to the country's economy, and businesses like our own are very much the growing businesses, and these are the businesses of the future.
And so the people had gone, the music had stopped, the magic had disappeared. Alton Towers was closed for the winter.